You know, I love, my passion is hunting rivers. And the reason I love rivers is there's always something different. You know, you've got sloughs and you got green timber and the white and the cash. I mean, when the water's out there, there's nothing better. And even when the water's inside the banks, it's still pretty good. But man, we're in an epic drought here in Arkansas. I mean, it is dry. I mean, we've got 20 feet of sand on both sides of the river. It's dry. It's rough, but if you have water, you're in good shape. So I called Bo and I said, you know, Bo, getting killed on the white and the cash. Help me find some ducks, man. He said, come on. I jumped in, headed up, and anybody that knows anything about Northeast Arkansas knows that really, I mean, it's, you know, 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, depending on where you go in Northeast Arkansas, but the terrain is real similar to what we have here in Stuttgart. A little bit different style of hunting from time to time, but it floods just like it does down here. And most people in Arkansas would agree that it's just as good as what we have in Stuttgart, and maybe even better at times, because there's probably a little less pressure. And if you hit it when the sun's shining, and you're one of the few places with water, it can be very, very special. You know, the kind of deal that the green timber duck dreams are made of. I had a little something I had to get cleared up that morning, so I got off a little bit late. Told him I'd be there mid-morning. As I'm pulling up, these guys are coming out of the woods. Now, one of the cool things that Bo's able to do that, you know, I think that's why he's had so much success, or a big reason why he's had so much success, is the dogs that he trains, he gets to take those dogs hunting. And he takes them hunting on a regular basis, especially the young dogs. He had Dixie and Shay, two youngsters that hadn't had many trips, maybe 2 or 3, maybe. I think this was probably Shay's first or second time. And when you think about that opportunity for a young dog to get in there with the guy that's trained her, and you put him in all these different scenarios, out of a blind, from a dog stand, from a tree stand, etc. And by the time they're 7, 8 years old, you're gonna have a fine, fine animal. And that's exactly what Bo's able to do there, because he takes, you know, 25, 30 dogs a season, puts them out there, and they shoot a lot of ducks. So when I show up, you know, they're just getting done. You know, he's got 5 guys, give or take. He's got dogs, they're running and gunning, and he's excited to go back out there. So we jump in there and get after it. I see 2, there you go. Atta baby, Bo! Bo and Shay. Nice work. Atta girl, Shay. They open the gate, brother. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him! Watch out! Watch out! Okay. Me too. Shot my 6. My 6 shells, not my 6 ducks. Let me clarify. I did whiff a couple times. But hey, I'm gonna tell you something. You notice how whenever the bang sticks hits them, brother, they don't swim away. That's because of that tube, I'm telling you. I don't want to get it. The duck's dead over there, right beside you, isn't it? Yeah, he's vibrating. See it? Hello? You got it? Here they are. Here. I thought they were going to do it. Over the top. Shoot. Kill him. We got one down. Huh? That a girl? Oh, Shay. What we wanted to develop was something that was much less commercialized, no static shots of product and all that. But we know that gear, selling gear makes the world go round in this deal, and without that, we can't afford to do it. Nobody can. So there's some stuff at the end that I think should be very exciting for everybody, and I hope they'll hang around and check it out.
I'm standing in J.D. Blondin's horse pasture outside Arcadia, Louisiana, watching the most important retriever event in America's retriever history, and I need a new vocabulary to talk about it. The article that Bill Tarrant wrote of Field and Stream about the first hunt test.
But is this one of your favorite holes?
I love this hole. We call this the honey hole.
The honey hole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a good one.
So it's been a good hole.
So how did you, so did you have a dog when you came out there? Do you remember how that whole deal cranked up? Because your dad's not a crazy huge duck hunter, is he?
No,
I mean, he's a duck hunter, but he like
introduced me to duck hunting.
Yeah.
Weekend warriors, we'd bust Balmeda. We'd go in there and Balmeda, and we didn't have a boat. We'd walk in there, no decoys, no anything. Sometimes we'd even sleep until like 8 o'clock, go in there a little bit later when everybody else was coming out. We would miss some of that traffic.
Sure.
But there's a kennel right next to this property. It's right down the road.
Starks.
Dave Starks. So
I was 15 years old. We moved out to the country, 8 miles west of Stuttgart near Humnoke, Arkansas. Just a dreamland for a little kid, just coming out here. Like I said, it was like a kid in a candy store. I didn't have a job at the time, didn't have a driver's license, so I was kind of marooned out on my summer break, and I would mow, and afternoons I'd go out and fish, and pretty much just fell in love with it. The duck hunting, of course, is a big part of what we do. We would get the water ready for these guys. We'd watch the place, maintain it. We'd brush the blinds. It's just a fun job, a dream job. That's what got us out here. That's kind of what got me in dogs. My math teacher, Pam Starks, Stuttgart High School. I was trying to brown nose her one day. I come up to her and just say, "I think we're neighbors now. I just live right down the road from you." And she encouraged me to go meet her husband, David Starks. And the rest is history. I thought David was going to hire me. I asked him for a job. You could ride a 4-wheeler over there. And it's just perfect for a kid that didn't have a driver's license yet. He pretty much said no. Come check back 3 or 4 months, and I'll probably have a job for you. That's exactly what I did, and I eventually got hired. But it all started with him giving me a dog. I asked for a dog. I said, "Do you have anything at all?" Anything that might not be doing very well, I mean, I'm not looking for the next, and of course we hear that every day as trainers, you know, I'm not looking for the next champion. I'm just want a dog, you know. I just want something to hang out with, and that's all I was wanting, something to chase my four-wheeler around, just something to hang out with on the farm all day. And he gave me one. He said, I've got one I need out of here. And we're not getting along as force fetch. I mean, it's just not going to happen. So he said I could have her as long as I took her that day. And he actually, luckily for me, gave me a couple days to build a dog pen. My dad helped me out. We built a dog pen and went and picked him up. And my dad, he still couldn't believe he gave me that dog. He said, he gave you this dog? He said, she's beautiful. I mean, chocolate female. I mean, that's when chocolates were just breaking through, you know, and that's when they were starting to get popular. Everybody wanted a brown dog. He gave me that dog, and we fell in love. I mean, she might not have liked him very much at the time, but she loved me, and she ended up being one of my main guide dogs. I started college actually taking night classes at Phillips County. I decided not to just pick up and move, and it was really because of my job. I had an opportunity to get a full-time position dog training and doing duck club work full-time. I mean, what teenager wouldn't love that? So it's 1998, and I'm fresh out of school, and I just pretty much asked David if I could get on full-time, and that happened. All my buddies, they've already left. They've moved off and went to school, so it's just kind of like, man, what can I do to get out on my own? And college is really the best bet. So I moved up to Jonesboro, Arkansas, started Arkansas State, and that's where I got a degree in photojournalism. And I was able to train dogs at the same time. That's how I worked my way through school. I was kind of on my own when I went up there, and in 2005 I graduated and actually walked away from dog training, kinda, you know, just for a little while, and went through management training with ABF Freight. In the meantime, I would train dogs on the side. I wouldn't go over 3 or 4. It'd work out perfect for my daily schedule. And bought a place in Jonesboro. It had a little 5-acre spot, had goats on it, and it was an old goat farm, you know. It had T-posts and wire everywhere, and I spent 3 months pulling all that up, you know, and then built a pond on it and kind of turned it into a little dog training spot. I didn't have a kitchen table, so I just, you know, I had an open dining room in there, so I just put like 3 or 4 pet porters in the dining room, and the dogs that I would train would actually stay in the house with me. And eventually I built a kennel back behind my house here, and that's where I started the business.
This is my new best friend, Esther. She might look like any normal, playful puppy, but Esther's being raised to become a canine companions for independence assistance dog for a person with a disability. To get there, she needs lots of loving care and attention, plenty of exercise, and good eating habits so that she can live a long and healthy life for her future family. Visit cci.org or call 1-800-572-BARK. Raise a puppy, change a life. You can make a world of difference in the life of a person with a disability.
Right there on top, right on top. Right over the top, here they go.
Thank you.
Kill him.
Kill him.
Well, they kill them both?
What do you got to show you?
Hey, get that hand right there. Oh, right there, baby. Go right by it. Atta girl.
I mean, two in the hand better than
You bet.
Shay is very high bred. She's out of a dog named Wood Rivers franchise. It's called named the Shack. And Shack's got a few puppies out there. Field trialers really love them. And I think you see how intense she is. I mean, I don't think she's missed one bird all day. She was actually over a year old whenever I got her. I got her from a guy in Round Cape Jardo, Missouri named John Clausen. And I just very blessed, and I love you too, girl. Very blessed and fortunate to have her. This is actually one of those, to me, a dog of a lifetime that I'm going to try to hold on to and keep and hopefully breed. And we're actually going for a master title. I had her signed up for the Grand this last spring, and you've heard this story before. I've actually never had this happen to me before, but she failed the bitch check. Very first dog they checked on my trailer, and she was in season, so I lost her. So I have not got to run her in the Grand yet. She's actually probably more built for Master National stuff, but I think she's going to be a great all-around dog. And so far, I really love what I see in the timber hole here. She seems to love it as much as I do, so maybe we'll be a good match. Kill him! Kill him! Kill him!
Watch out. Oh, lay him down, baby. Go night-night.
Shay. More bad walls to fly by.
Yeah.
I think that.
You bet.
And someday you just know
Or you give it up, or it just what a girl, Shay. Oh, Shay to Shay. Miss Addie's place. You know, Miss Addie's place is one of those quintessential rural Arkansas gas it, grab it, and go deals. But they got a great restaurant. Now, not five-star dining, but it's got a good solid cheeseburger. The plate lunch is always good to go, and they're fast. And when you're cold and hungry, and if you're hunting Dave Donaldson or the Black River, which is the Dave Donaldson Black River area, but you're anywhere up there in that area, you know, it's kind of like the Bendies of Northeast Arkansas, you know, kind of the place that everybody comes to and hangs out. Solid cheeseburger, plate lunch, solid, delicious sweet tea. You know you got the right kind of place when they bring you your own pitcher of sweet tea and leave it at the table. That's when you know you're in the right spot. And they bring it to you in a gallon. You know, I mean, it's not a gallon, it's a pitcher. It's a lot of tea, but it's right there next to Dave Donaldson. It's convenient and they're fast. Great place to stop. You know, it's just one of those things that I think these places succeed a lot because of the duck hunting traffic, you know, and I'm not sure that would be there otherwise. It's out in the middle of nowhere, and it's not on a road that's, you know, heavily traveled. We're not talking about an interstate, it's on 412, you know. It's there, and during duck season, it's the place to be.
Really to restore the natural hydrology of the property, the water movement, because everything changed when the ship channels were dug in this area. You know, my goal is this place for, you know, my grandkids, great-grandkids to have this place and to enjoy it as much as I enjoy it.
As it breached, now it's flowing up to 10,000 cubic feet per second when the river's up. And here we are, we have people trying to close that and not very far down the road in the future that we're going to spend another $1 billion opening another one. So what sense does that make to close that one?
There's been that much change in the ecosystem here that we can look back 5 years and we know that the marsh is so much different now than it was then. Our good old days aren't 30 or 40 years long anymore. They're changing every season. Every season, the good old days were a year ago. And if something isn't done, it won't be long before the good old days are gone.
Kill him. Sit here.
She might need to get a head start on anyway.
There you go. I like a fair catcher. I like a dog that'll fair catch one every now and then. Just shows enthusiasm.
Hey, that's good. Look at this.
Good shot. Uh-oh. Old youngster figuring it out.
See that duck right there? Put the moon on it.
Oh, coming to the hole.
Come on, babe.
Whoa.
You mean shoot it?
Nope. You'll figure it out.
She's gonna go under on it here in a minute.
She did. Did you see her go under a while ago? Keep looking, baby. There he is. Oh, coming to the house. Coming to the house, baby. Oh, Shay. Look at her prancing. Got him by the butt. Don't let go. Fun, isn't it, girlfriend? Fun, isn't it? You did so good. You did so good. I wish I was tough as a Labrador. John Wayne's not as tough as a Labrador.
I don't even know it's sold out.
Clint Eastwood is only about a third. I think Chuck Norris is about a half as tough as a Labrador. 24 degrees, go out there for a swim, butt naked. Pretty good.
Hey, and they wear their 4-in-1 parka in the middle of the summer.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly
They
right.
live a tough life.
That's right. That's a good way of thinking about it. I think when you watch a dog run, you know, when you watch a dog hunt, and you watch their attitude and their excitement level. I mean, you saw, you know, when Bo really got down on the call, and it was kind of funny. You know, when I called hard, she really didn't get her rear end up and start, you know, banging that tail. But when Bo started calling, that rear end popped up, and man, she started wagging that tail, and it's funny to see that, because that when you see that, you think to yourself, you know, things are clicking, things are going now. She's getting it figured out. It's all starting to come together. When that call gets aggressive, and you know, when she starts hearing those chuckles and all that kind of stuff, it's almost like some dogs you see when a safety goes off on a gun. You know, they pop up. I mean, it sounds silly, but anybody that's hunted with one very much, they know that sound, and they know when that safety on that gun pops on and off. Well, they pop up because they know it's time to get out. So I think when you see that and you see that level of excitement, it always makes me feel good, because I know that guy's doing a good job. You know, he's doing a good job. He's training the right way. The dogs are well-mannered. They sit tight. They sit, you know, when there's birds falling in all around them, you know, they're happy. You know, they're happy. They're happy doing their job. And I think as an owner, I think that's about all anybody can ever ask for, is to build a dog that truly loves their work, you know, and doesn't whine so much. That's what I like. I'd like to find a dog that doesn't whine so much. You know where I get one of those? That'd be great.
That's what you do.
Thanks, sir.
You do that when you're duck hunting all the time.
Oh, every day.
You're out there and you're like, you know, we're having pretty good hunt today, aren't we? Whew.